Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rum the Couch video number 89. Dave here from Manchester Rum Festival, and for this episode I want to showcase another bottle from a brand that I picked up at Manchester Rum Festival this year. I'm sure many of you were able to pick up this, Saint Benevolence, or said in very different ways as I noticed on the day, but that's the way I like to pronounce it. This is all the way from Haiti, and I was very intrigued the very first time with the gents from Skylark who brought this bottle at last year's Rum Festival in 2021, and I never got the opportunity to pick up a bottle. I just ran out of time, unfortunately, and any opportunity I've had since to give it a go. It's a beautiful reminder of what Haiti can offer, especially that terroir profiles that they are famous for. So we've already had a rum on the couch in terms of Clarin, probably more famous of the rum brands that are originating some of the more smaller producers and highlighting what they can do. But Saint Benevolence is something a little bit different because it's also giving back. I'm sure Clarin do as well, but it really emphasizes on the back of this bottle. For example, it says the words, "Every single sip of Saint Benevolence rum directly funds life-changing medical services and educational programs across the island nation of Haiti, delivered through our long-standing relationships over 15 years. Partner in our efforts and drink to goodness." That sounds pretty good. And I'm always up for supporting as well. So this is 50% ABV. Sugarcane juice and syrup, crafted at the Dorsinville distillery, hand-harvested and pot distilled. 100 proof or 50% ABV. And I can't seem to find the bit to open. There it is. So, I'm also, to be brutally honest, quite liking the label of that. It's a beautiful look. Again, do love a good cork from a bottle. Now, I do like my Haitian rums because it's a very different sort of profile, aiming towards that sugarcane juice, really highlighting the terroir profiles. Just made a bit of a mess here, but getting excited. But automatically, you get the beautiful cut grass. That's that real freshly cut grass you have when you just mowed your lawn. Funkiness as well, though. Definitely some ripe bananas in there, papaya, and also I actually say a little bit of coconut cream. Not water, coconut cream. It's bringing back that kind of Coca Lopez sort of aromas. Fresh, but actually with a bit of body behind it as well. Very, very different in comparison to the Clarins that we've had on Rum on the Couch in the past. There's something else there and I can't think what it is, but maybe let's give it a sip. It might trigger the old memories. So it's 50% ABV, I said? Yep. It grows beautifully well. It's sharp, but it grows into that sharpness. It's not a powerful kick in the face. It sort of develops quite nicely. And actually a little bit smoother now, it's sort of interacting better. You still retain that banana element, that sort of fresh papaya. I do get that kind of green melon, that's the other one. A real sort of vibrancy of actually quite water-based serves in my mind. I do get a little bit of that kind of minerality towards it as well. Not to the point of, complete earthiness, but you can tell it's fresh. You know what I mean? It's done as quick as possible to retain that vibrancy that sugar canes can offer. But I also think it might be a little bit of that sugarcane syrup as well. It's got a nice mouthfeel. You know, it's not too thin. It's not like you're drinking water, but ultimately it's not thick enough to start thinking it's you know, it's a Saint Benevolence sugarcane syrup or something like that. I like that. I like that a lot. I've got a lot of love for this brand, to be honest with you. That's why I was able to pick a bottle up. I sort of darted before the guys left back in June. And I've been following them quite closely on their socials as well. It's a fantastic insight into obviously giving back to the Haitians in Haiti itself, but also seeing them actually bringing this brand to life. You know, you don't really realise sometimes how much of an impact the local communities have in putting what you have into your bottle. You know, we don't really think about the personnel behind these brands. We may not a master blender, a master distiller, or even the owner itself, because they're always the ones that are going to be highlighted. But it's the workers, you know, the ones who actually cut and cultivate that sugarcane. You know, what lands, what part of elevation do they have that can impact, you know, the minerality towards the end game. And this is just like the start. Never mind the fermentation, the distillation, and the maturation. This is unaged as far as I can say. It doesn't mention it on the bottle. I'm fairly sure I've had an aged version of this, but gents at Skylock, correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, did I just dream it? But ultimately, it's a very transparent brand, and that's what we love these days. I try not to get too angry if a brand can't really answer a simple question of where did it come from or what's inside it. But ultimately, these days, I think we demand it, don't we? You know, I saw a lot of people asking some great questions at Manchester Rum Festival last month. You know, asking the brands, asking the personnel behind those stands, you know, what's in it? What makes it different to this one? And the cool thing about Haiti, we automatically will compare it to Clarins. You know, the Clarin Communal, for example, is a really good go-to for that brand, and showcasing again another side of what Haiti can offer. So it's fantastic to see that Haiti is not the most common country for rum, but when you have brands like this, and Clarin for that matter, you know, showcasing, very similar to how the mezcals are in Mexico, you know, the smaller producers, this is what the small guys can do. Let's bring it to the table here in the UK. What would I have this with? Borrowing a nice block of ice, that would work amazingly well, like your big cube or a sphere of ice. It would naturally make a great tea punch, you know, a stirred down daiquiri. Probably wouldn't have put a bit too much citrus in there. I'd put a little bit dash of sugar. But I'll keep the emphasis on that fresh flavour profile. It would work well in mojito. It probably would work well in, you know, and actually El Presidente will work quite nicely with this. No. Hemingway, sorry, not El Presidente. Hemingway, I'm getting confused. Hemingway daiquiri will work very, very well with this, to keep that sort of retaining of the dryness as well. Can't think of big cocktails. Too early in the morning to think of cocktails. I'll enjoy one, but that's when someone has to make it for me. No, it works. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm hoping this has given you a good opportunity to try Saint Benevolence. Do check it out on their socials. Pick up a bottle if you can as well. And I will see you all on the very next Rum on the Couch, which is going to be showcasing one of the last bottles of rums I was able to pick up from Manchester Rum Festival. But do check out Saint Benevolence, check out some cocktail ideas, and ultimately pick up a bottle and see what you can do to support the world of Haiti. Enjoy.